right, let's see what's going on. I guess we clocked in. Hey, what's going on, party people? Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a great pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer, and essentially, as a spiritual healer, what I do pretty much is that I help people to become mentally and emotionally balanced. And the whole idea of helping you to become mentally and emotionally balanced it's just so you can attain your highest level of consciousness. So, when we're talking about attaining your highest level of consciousness, what we're saying here is you becoming Christ like, or you becoming Buddha like, Krishna like. It's ultimately you attaining the highest level of consciousness. Now, if you know anything about, let's just say Krishna, Buddha, Jesus Christ, I mean, these are figures that represent, like the highest level of, self-consciousness. That's why if you know anything about them, you would learn about their trials and tribulations, what they have to overcome. And at the end, they became, whoever they became through their trials and tribulations. And all of that is pretty much it's your story too. And ultimately you'll know as you go through this journey, you'll get to see, like these are what the steps that you have to go through. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. But going back to what I do, essentially, I help you to be a better version of you, and but for you to get there, you would have to be in alignment with yourself. So therefore, um, being mentally and emotionally balanced allows you to be in alignment with you, but most importantly, it helps you to have a broader perspective of things around you. Like if you want to be too emotional, because the minute you become too emotional, I mean, it affects the way you see things. In fact, that's why we'll say, bro, I mean, you don't think you're being too emotional? No, just a little bit. But we're also saying you're not seeing, or I mean, it's not what you think this is. Like, take a step back. So I'm saying that to say, for you to attain your highest level of consciousness, your emotions and your intellect has to become together. Now, if you choose to be, let's just say, too intellect and to be less emotional, thinking to, let's just say, and most people think that too, like to reject your emotions, that's what self mastery is. And that's not the key at all. That's not true at all. True self mastery it's being in touch with all of you. It's not suppressing a side of you. And then, I mean, because the minute you suppress any side of you, you become one sided and you're not whole. And because you're not whole, your perspective, in fact, toxicity, the foundation of being toxic, it's when you're not whole, meaning you have a certain emotions that you're not addressing. There's a certain emotions or certain pain, that you are refuting instead of embracing or embodying it. So neither, I mean, being, too, and if you become too intellect, now you become very robotic. You have no emotions. You stepping on people's toes. You done forgot, nigga. Remember, man, you are not perfect yourself. You don't went to Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? You can't fuck with no hood. You went Hollywood on niggas. I'm wild. Mm. The key, that's why you have to be mentally and emotionally balanced. And that balance, now with a clear heart, you can use your intellect. And with a sharp intellect now, it also allows you, you have to add a little bit of emotions in it. In fact, to become emotionally intelligent, I'm sorry, Is to use or understand your. I mean, it's to have a very intelligent emotion. I mean, relationship with your emotions. No, I'm saying it's not you going against you, man. So there's no way you would be able to attain self mastery by, let's just say, dividing or rejecting part of you. I mean, it wouldn't be self mastery at this point. And you will be one sided, but because you wouldn't be able to master neither side of you. So self mastery in itself is embodying, is to become whole. And that's the idea of the yin and the yin, the masculine and the feminine coming together, good and bad, like being, what I'm saying, like polarity. And I do have a recording coming out on that too. You guys gonna love it. But anyway, um, again, so I mean, for you to attain your highest level of consciousness, you would have to become in alignment with you. But not just that, to become more self-aware, well, you got to start with you. If you're suppressing your emotions, you're suppressing your essence, your the divinity in you, or you're not allowing yourself to do what you want to do. It's that's that's anxiety in itself. And how do you become the best of you if you're not using you? You need you to become the best of you. You know what I'm saying? There's no way around it. That's why no one else can do it for you but you. You have to help yourself. But anyway, but with all of that being said, though, what this is also truly saying is you got to become how do you? I mean, a house divided cannot stand. So now, when I'm talking about being emotionally balanced, what we're talking about here, it's the same baseline understanding here. It's you being in relationship with your emotions. This is not you suppressing how you feel. This is you addressing it for what it is. Because the minute you repress it, that's where for you to be healed, you have to embrace it. That's why the remedy of the pain, the remedy of the pain is in the pain. You know what I'm saying? The only way up is through. There's no shortcut, man. I'm sorry to say. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to do it. Conscious or unconscious, you still have to deal with the consequences of all of our actions. So therefore, it is best and it is in your best interest. If you're gonna have to deal with you anyway, why not you giving yourself the best you? At least if you get a result, at least you did it consciously instead of getting a result unconsciously. So therefore, choosing yourself, you can never lose. You can never ever lose. But for you to embrace yourself and all of that, I mean, it comes with, it's we have to become in alignment with us. You have to make that commitment to you. You owe it to you. And you start by doing that, by doing some of the things that you like. All of that is part of the journey. And as you're doing so, and that would allow you to know more about who you are, and you're gonna allow the mystery to unfold itself. Oh, it's beautiful. It's worth living every step of the way. Because now you're the one creating your own path, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't follow the crowd, baby. You know what I'm saying? And just like they say, if there's a path in front of you, It's not yours. Because yours, you always gonna left the path behind you. Free game. Like, listen, it's in the house, baby. But anyway, going back now to being emotionally balanced, you have to acknowledge your emotions. Better yet, when you're dealing with your emotions, you're dealing with energy, and there's intelligence, there's messages. Then you got to understand your pain, meaning, and by having the the understanding of what the pain is, that's how you'll be able to transmute it. In the occult, we call it healing your wounded child. And all of that referring to is just the early emotions in you. Then you would have to have that conversation by reconnecting, seeing, listen, man, there was no reason for you to feel this way. It was part of the journey, or whatever the fuck you choose to tell yourself based on what the situation is. But the old you and the new you, you're going to have that intelligent conversation where it's no longer, what I'm saying, suppressing each other, but you guys are now coming together. And that's the unification of what you will call your higher self, your lower self, the yin and the yin, your masculinity, your femininity. It goes by so many different names, but ultimately, all of that spiritual shit is just your life. That's why in just a second I'm gonna be talking about spirituality. But again, I mean, there's no fucking mystery. There's no, what I'm saying, it's the mystery's us. You see what I'm saying? And not to be in tune with yourself. It's like you are out of pocket. And that's what insanity is. Now you become part of that mental institution. You wilding out there. You know what I'm saying? Because everything starts and ends with you. And the minute you're not in alignment with you, listen, you know what I'm saying? That's when you become a people pleaser. You're not even standing right. You have no stand at all. You know, man? You're a yes man. Like what? Yeah, left, go, left. What the fuck? Can you make a decision? Isn't it your life? It's all of our. I mean, shit. If you're not living it your way, like, what are we talking about?